today let's talk about how to get control by letting go of control. This is such an interesting topic because everyone's trying to control everything around them. You're trying to control other people, your partner, all these things around you. But are you controlling yourself? You will learn in this video that the only thing that matters is how you feel about you and what you expect to happen, how much you trust for things to work out, and how much you release your need for things to work out. Because the truth is, people don't get what they want necessarily. They certainly don't get what they need. They get who they are. They get what they expect. And so when you're being the person who expects the things that you want, that's when it shows up effortlessly and easily. So the only thing you need to do is to get control of you. And it is sort of easier said than done until you really understand that it's absolutely true. When you understand that staying in a negative place where you believe that it won't work out and, oh, you don't know, or maybe you positively think it will, yet deep inside you have this expectation that it just won't. Well, what you've got to do is you've got to start getting very honest with yourself about what you're really thinking and feeling, but you don't live in the fear all the time. Yeah, you let yourself feel it. You let yourself bring it up. But that's so you can have a talk with it and you can remind yourself of what is true. Now, this is where studying the universal laws, the natural laws, God's laws, success mindset, and all of that really comes in handy, because until you know that off by heart, then it can be hard for you. When you truly, truly, truly believe and expect that good will happen for you, then it does happen for you. Now, here's the kicker. The reason why a lot of people try this and then it seems like it doesn't work is because for things to actually work out for you, things in your life need to change. And when you're holding on so tightly, trying to control the way that things are, trying to control, that your client stays with you, trying to control the way your partner cuts the vegetables, trying to control all the things in your life, when something changes, you think that it's going wrong. But I mean, come on, obviously, for things to change, things need to change. So that might mean that a certain client that drains you quits. It might mean that your partner starts doing something differently and going to different places than what you're used to when you think you don't want him to. But if you're honoring what feels right for him, then you'll allow him to do what he wants to do. Right? Within reason, everything's on a spectrum, obviously. But you really want to honor what is happening around you and let yourself go with the flow, which means that if things seem to be going wrong, it's actually because they're going right. When you have the right mindset, is because the things in your life that need to change are changing. And you can't have change if everything stays the same. Now, that sounds so obvious. It's like, yeah, of course. But then why, if you say that you want a better place, if you say that you want to change in your life, yet you get an eviction notice or the house that you're looking to buy falls through and say, oh no, that means it's not working. No, that means that there's something better on the way for you. And when you can actually think like this and you can hold your trust, then that's when you open up to things actually arriving into your life that you desire, because you expect things to work out. So things work out. Now, another thing to realize is a lot of the time, the thing that you want could show up in a completely different way. Now, you might say, well, if I want it, how could it be different? Because you think you want these surface things when what you really want are deeper things, like how it makes you feel, the connection that it gives you. Maybe if it's to do with location, the temperature that you want to live in. But you got the eyes on maybe one certain house or one certain guy or one certain program or whatever it is. And if that doesn't seem to be working out and you think, oh, that's it, it's not working, the end is near. It's like, no, it just means that wasn't your thing. And so what will actually make you happy if you allow yourself to let go a little bit is still on its way. And in fact, it's not on its way from over there. it is literally right here next to you on the spiritual plane. And because it's on the spiritual plane, it's literally planted in like a seed. Like when you have a desire and you decide that it's happening and you expect that it's happening, well, then it literally starts growing like a seed right here next to you on the spiritual plane. But because you keep thinking it's over there in the future, and you keep dropping your expectations, so it's like you dig up the seed and trample all over it and say, no, there is no seed, there is no seed, there is no seed, that's it. It didn't rain today, so that means there is no seed. It's like, no, maybe it'll rain tomorrow, to like water the seed in this analogy. So it's really about learning how to program yourself to believe that what you want is happening, to trust, to overcome resistance, to let go of your past stories, and to educate yourself on natural law, on the universal law, God's law. Because basically what it is that life is ultimately good. Like life, and by life I mean God, the divine, infinite intelligence. Yeah, it's ultimately good. But when people are like, oh yeah, but why would God let all these bad things happen in the world? Well, because it's not God doing it, it is our minds doing it. It's us, it's our decisions, our belief in limit, our belief in lack, and our monkey see, monkey do from the generations above us. It gets passed down and passed down. And God, the universe, will only ever filter through your free will and do what you expect to happen. So this is the great news, because what this means is that when you rise up into your divinity, which is where you believe that everything is working out, where you learn how to trust, where you love the people who hurt you. Now, that doesn't mean you necessarily allow them in your life at all, but you can still have love for them. Okay, you still actually send love instead of hate. Even if you don't like what they're doing, you still have compassion. Doesn't mean that you're a pushover and you let them in. Okay, so that's a distinction, very important one. Okay, when you realize that God, divine, universe, that life is by its very nature for growth, and this growth is this infinite intelligence, actual conscious intelligence, that's the most brilliant thing ever. It has all the brilliance in the world, but it can only filter through our belief system of what we expect and allow. So if you're going around saying, oh yeah, I want this and this and that, but deep down you're expecting, yeah, but things haven't worked out before, so it probably won't work out now. That's like a subconscious decision that you've got running in the background. It's just running, playing like a broken record player out into the universe. So this is where I said earlier about getting control of how it is you really feel on the inside. So getting like in relationship with yourself, when you actually let yourself feel, oh, yes, I say I want this, but I'm feeling a bit down when I think about it. I want to be positive, but feeling down when I think about it. Okay, well, what's going on? Why am I actually thinking this? And you can write it down, you can speak it out loud, but just do it all throughout the day. Like, this is the work. And you change your mind about it. You remind yourself of the universal laws. You remind yourself that you are literally God in a human body, having a human experience, playing a game of forgetting, and just you're dealing with yourself everywhere you go. And this is why when you change your expectations about people, it's so uncanny. Like when you truly actually do, then they change too. I've seen it over and over and over again. As you probably know, I've helped thousands of people around the world through my energy healing, shadow alchemy, energy work. And I can tell you, I've seen it quick as lightning. Sometimes it really is that quick. You will like make a change. Let's say forgiving someone, you like my client maybe will forgive someone, or it's even happened with me personally. And then right after they do it, right after the session or during the session or 3 days later, but right in that short time period, this person that maybe was angry at them or hadn't talked to them for years, which happened to me, will literally message them within a very short period of time, apologizing, wanting to reconnect. And now that only happens because you drop your end of the rope. Where you're like, it's like this tug of war psychically, energetically. You have these expectations and these hurt energies sort of trapped, stuck, floating around in your energy field. And when we actually dissolve them and dissipate them, things happen differently. I remember there's so many different examples to choose from, but there was one lady who she couldn't find a job for a year. She was like, so many more are coming to me, but okay. She couldn't find a job for literally a year. She was looking. And through just a simple conversation, I helped her see it differently. I helped her believe, wait there, if I just actually keep looking and I actually believe and it can actually happen and I actually talk about to myself exactly how I want it, it will change. And she literally went out and she got a job the next day. And the same with one of my clients who did one of my amazing programs. She had been running a business for a long time, a support business, and she wasn't able to get any clients. It just was like spinning her wheels and was like pulling teeth, basically. And after doing, I think it was like a 6-week program with me with deep intensive reprogramming, where we healed the energy body, which means we changed the fear, we changed her beliefs, her expectations, and which then gave her energy to make new decisions and take new actions. Then she realized that she was worthy all along, that she could actually do it. She had the fearlessness and the courage to actually reach out to clients, to do certain things, whatever it was she did that made the change. And then she all of a sudden, within I think a month, booked her calendar full of clients. This is what happens when you do this work and you realize it really is all in how you feel. Now, that doesn't mean that you just sit around forever, because if you truly, absolutely, actually trust, actually have faith, then you're excited to do things and you feel creative, and you might still have resistance in the way. But when you understand that fear doesn't mean stop. Fear is actually the door to your wildest dreams and desires. Okay, now there's discernment here to know, is this the type of fear telling me not to do it for sure? Or is it just the type of fear saying, oh, this is new, what if I embarrass myself or fail myself? You know, then you just disregard it and you walk through the door and you do the scary thing, and then you get the results you want. It really is that simple, but it does take work. It does actually take showing up for your inner work, and then be willing to take the actual faith-based action, which, as I said, can be scary. And that's where my work comes in. We release the fear, but it's not the releasing the fear like you're used to. Okay, this is why my techniques are so brilliant, and you're not going to find many people at all like me, because even a lot of really great healers, they will still release the fear like this, outwards. And it's like, no, the fear isn't just fear. It's actually a subpersonality within you, like a repressed part of you that a long time ago was hurt. Maybe she was betrayed or abandoned or, you know, embarrassed somewhere. And ever since that day, this part of you has been frozen in time with that experience and opinion active, like that broken record player playing in your subconscious. So every time you feel that fear of doing it, it's not just fear. It's an actual part of you that has an opinion of it's not safe. So we don't just release the fear, we go into this actual real part of you. It's real as you and me sitting here. It's a real part of you. And we talk to her, we talk to him, we talk to this part of you, and we listen to why it's scared. We understand it. We go, oh, like, I really get it. Okay, I see. This isn't just a big, scary, raw fear. This is an actual sweet, soft part of me that got embarrassed and is now holding back so it doesn't happen again. And so then you essentially lovingly educate this part of you. You forgive this part of you for being scared, but then you walk it back up into feeling good, into believing, into trusting, into knowing that it really is safe to move forward. And this is how you build the relationship with yourself. And a big part of what I do with my private clients in our one-to-one work, but also in a lot of my group programs that I do. So if you're interested in taking your life further, if you're a high-level woman and you know you're here to change the world, and you've probably been called weird a lot throughout your life, I'm here to let you know that your weirdness is actually your most precious attribute, because it means that you're willing to follow your heart more than other people. It means that the so-called rules of how things have to be don't work for you. And actually, they don't work for anyone. The only rules that work for you are what come from your own heart, because God, the divine, gives you step by step by step by step by step by step instruction on what to do. But he doesn't give you the whole staircase. Just like a GPS, you don't need the whole entire map anymore. You don't have to map out, 200 streets to go up and down to get to your place some miles away, do you? Now we have a GPS. You just set in the destination. You set in the destination, which is your belief, your desire, combined with your expectation and certainty that, yes, this is mine. Yes, this is happening. Yes, this is meant to be. Yes, either this or something better, even if it looks different than what I think. This is exactly what I'm getting, right? You have to be able to learn how to think like this. And it takes work. It does, but it's lovely work. It's uplifting work. But then once you have it programmed into the GPS, you tune in to what feels right for you right now. And then you just take one freaking step and you let it be something you enjoy. Now, yes, sometimes that's going to be scary and you think you're not going to enjoy it. Your hands are shaking, your knuckles are white. But to be in alignment, by the way, is not a feeling. Yeah, it's not a feeling. Alignment is an action. It's literally being aligned with the version of you who has the things that you want, which means the version of you who has that next level life is doing different things than the version of you who doesn't, right? The version of you who has it is saying yes to what? I'm just giving some examples. Maybe doing live streams, maybe leading group programs. Maybe this next level version of you emails her list every day or once a week or whatever comes through for you. Maybe this next level version of you who already has the husband, who already has the partner, the life, the social life that she wants, she's already going to parties or to personal development groups or meetup groups. She loves going for a walk by herself and she'll eat at restaurants by herself because she has no hang-ups. Well, to you right here, right now, that's going to be a little bit scary. So you have to start taking those steps now to match up to it. And again, this is where the shadow work comes in handy because we can clear a good portion of the fear. But then you take the action, even though there might still be some fear. Although with the shadow work, which is really shadow to light work, what we do is we find these fearful parts of you, we give them love and understanding, actually talk to yourself, and then you remind yourself of what is true, which is the universal laws. And this is, again, why it is so essential to be doing your inner work. Like if you are just doing it here and there, great, excellent, I'm so proud of you. But if you really, really, really want to be going to those higher next levels, you need to be doing it all through the day. And even just like little tiny chunks. Like you don't need to do shadow work all through the day. Like maybe even do a couple of minutes, but even just getting into your journal and speaking it out loud as you write, maybe, and talking about what you want, and then talking about your fears and why it might not work, and then talking yourself back up into what you want. This is how you get control, is when you feel that beautiful expectation and that knowing, and you keep flip-flopping back in and out, but you keep flipping back into it as often as you can. And then you let other people go on their merry way. You stop blaming your husband. You stop blaming the people around you. You stop blaming the weather. You stop making excuses, and you show up for what's important to you. Yeah? So I'd love to know in the comments below, what has been your highlight from this? Is there something from this that you're going to go and action right now? Do not let this be just another video that you watch that just goes in one ear and out the other. Yes, I do believe in the power of planting the seed. I do believe in the power of listening to this stuff to like reprogram your subconscious mind. But just reading and listening and watching about personal development isn't enough. Just like reading memes all day, it's not enough. You actually have to do the work. You have to actually do it, and then you'll see the results. Now, likely if you're watching me, you've probably done loads of inner work, but don't ever let it get you down thinking like, oh, I've already done this. It's like you're going to be working on the same stuff forever, but it's going to be easier and quicker to overcome. Okay, because you're going to have the same fears and doubts come up. It doesn't mean that just because you worked on them that you sit in them and like, oh, well, I've already worked on this. Oh, I'm so sick. I should be past this by now. It's like, no, get over yourself. Just do the damn work to like walk yourself back up into that good feeling and expecting place, knowing that doesn't mean you have to be happy all the time, because you're not going to be. You're not going to be. You know, the other day I had the most terrible pain in my face that literally had tears running down my face. My face was actually swollen. And I swear I prayed to God over and over and over again. I used a certain affirmation prayer that I made. And eventually I started feeling peace because I was trying some tapping and stuff and it just wasn't working. So I just went to prayer and claiming that now my miracle had been delivered, which was, clear and pain-free. And yeah, within 10 minutes of me at first crying and like pretty much going off my head crying, like there was really big cries where we were almost panicking because it was extreme pain. It was like extreme, like my face was all swollen up and everything. And within, 10, 15 minutes, I started feeling this calm come over me, this peace within me. And then the pain started subsiding and then it became, almost went away completely. It was amazing. It was really, really amazing. What was my point? I don't know my point for that. But anyway, that's just an example of what happened. Oh, yeah. My point was that then, even though I was still not feeling great, I did the work that was important to me. I made the stuff for my program, Trust Your Way into Alignment. I actually recorded a whole new module. I wrote out to my email list. I did another EFT tapping audio for my program. And I was feeling terrible. I mean, I was feeling a lot better because, the pain had subsided, but I was still all like, like gentle, like sore type thing a little. I was like, a bit, but still, instead of laying in bed and feeling sorry for myself, I continued with the work. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to have discernment because earlier in the day, I gave myself time. The day before, I took the whole entire diet. I took the whole entire day off. But all I did was lay there feeling the pain. And so the next morning I got up, I went out for a walk, and then I tried to come back and do some work, but it was so painful. I ended up just praying and it just like left me. And then even though it was still tender is the word I was looking for. Even though I was still tender about it, but I felt so much better than I was, I still went through and I did it. Not because I had to, I didn't have to, but I knew that if I didn't, I would just feel worse, not out of guilt, but because doing the work is what really makes you feel better. And it did. Yeah. So the way you get control of yourself is you stop trying to control outside events and you just control yourself. You learn how to trust, you learn how to live in alignment with your ideal self and with God's law, with natural law, the universal laws, whichever one you prefer. And you understand that when you believe and you brainwash yourself into believing that everything works out for you, and everything really, really, really does. It is simple as that. So if you want to explore what it will be like to work with me one-to-one and go on a true healing journey to reprogram your entire system from ground up, maybe work with me for 6 months to a year or even 2, then send me a message, ask me about it. You can try my single one-to-one session just so you can actually get the power of this work. This isn't just, you're just receiving or doing some journaling. I'll probably have you do some journaling at some point, but no, we actually go in and we shift this stuck energy that you didn't even know was there. And it even heals chronic pain like back pain, sciatica, weird foot pain, stomach spasms, womb cramps, what else? Asthma, lung disease, all these sorts of things I personally healed either in other people or myself. Myself was chronic fatigue and a lung disease, walking pneumonia and bronchitis that I have the bronchitis usually for years and years and years in a row, really just wouldn't go away except for a few months here and there. And so that's what a lung disease is. And I healed that naturally with energy work. And I've healed other people like asthma, as I said. Did I say that? Stomach spasms. I just went through the list. All these things have happened through the emotional alchemy work that I do. And also at the same time, it heals your anxiety, it heals your depression, it heals your shame, your guilt, your blame. It takes your power and gives it back to you. And it also at the same time clears your money and success blocks because it's all related. Yeah, it's all related. When you feel safe to go after your dreams, then, and safe to stand up for yourself and say no, and you learn how to do it in a way that's compassionate yet strong, and you only say yes to what you want to say yes to. See, there's a lot that's involved, but when you learn all this and you practice it over time, then your entire life around you changes. So if you're someone, most of my clients are either in business, making money already, or they're career women who just want their life to be easier and more flow. And you really want to have it all. And you really do believe that there is a higher loving power, or you believe there is, but you want to heal your relationship, whether it's on the religious or the atheist side. I help people come to the middle where you actually learn that the divine is love, and you learn how to use it for prosperity and to do good for the world. Yeah, you can't just get. You have to give, and then you receive. Yeah, so if that sounds good to you, reach out to me. I have private one-to-one work. I have different levels as well. And I have programs running. I have my members club, which is a very low cost way to get involved. If you want to start doing my work and like reframing and reprogramming, then join my spiritual expansion society. This is an amazing, I love this. It's super low cost right now. And as a founding member, if you join watching this, then you will receive the price that you join at locked in forever, even as the price probably will one day at least double. Okay, so you can get in now for a trial month. Try it out. You'll have access to the previous months that are available right now at time of filming. If that ever changes, you'll know. But right now, that is the case. And this, you get a live masterclass with me each month with replay, plus loads of supporting content for you to go through during your inner work time each day, or most days, or once a week, or however much you want to do it, and come in and actually have me there like a little birdie in your ear with, the answers, which is the answer is that teaching you how to find the answers within yourself, and teaching you how powerful you truly are, teaching you that even though you're not perfect, and sometimes you're a mess, and sometimes you're upset, and sometimes you're just not feeling good, and sometimes you fuck things up, you can still be successful. Okay, trust me, if I can do it, you can do it. I now run a business with clients repeating all the time, reaching out to me. I'm literally living my dream job, and I'm growing it, and I'm just in love with what I do. And there was a time many years ago where I wanted to do this and I felt like it was so far away, but because I use these exact processes that I teach, and now I know the shortcuts because of everything I've learned. It's like, if I knew what I know now, what would I tell my younger self? Well, that's what I can tell you. Yeah. So look in the links for this video, or reach out to message me on Facebook, on Instagram, or join my email list and just reply to the email. I'm at spiritualsuccessjourney.com. spiritualsuccessjourney.com. On the front page, I always have a lovely freebie. So sign up for my freebie, join my email community, so you'll hear from me frequently with transformational tips and, early bird offerings and all these wonderful things, so you can be part of my world and truly reprogram your mindset, which is the work. And then from there, you'll take your faith-based action, which is also part of reprogramming yourself. And you just learn the beautiful mindset tips and tricks and hacks and journeys that it takes to really transform whichever area of your life you want to transform. This is all about how to get what you want, removing the blocks in your way, whether it's health or, physical chronic pain or anxiety, or, the blocks feeling like you're unworthy if you don't have a partner, or unworthy if you don't have money, or that it's not safe to have what you want. We can clear all of that, especially as we keep going together. Okay, guys, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you've left a comment. Let me know, because I love to see you there. But second, and most importantly for you, because it helps to integrate it into your system so that you actually remember. Okay, so yep, if you haven't subscribed yet, do that too. Thank you for being here. And I want you to remember, you really do create your own reality. Okay, bye.